Hi, I'm Mila Basmati, and today I'm going to talk about Tobias and the Angel. The title is Heaven Protect the Banker Sons. The boy carries a promissory note in his hand. Here you are. Here is the angel, Raphael, and this is Tobias. Only exists in the Bible of the Catholic. The Protestant don't have, it's apocryphal for them. It's a nice history. Tobias has a fish. This is Tobias. This is Tobias. It's a teenager. And this is the angel that has little books in his hand. This is Raphael. A lot of painter of Florence, the Tuscany, paint Tobias and the angel, Andrea del Castagno, several, I don't know which one more. Well, I'm going to begin. Well, this paint is in Turin, in the Galleria Sabauda. It's wood, it's oil over wood. Is the more or less the first painter, not the first, the second or the third, but it's who work with oil. It's wood 187 cm by 118. The subject is from the book of Tobit, included in the Latin Old Testament, but relegate to the Apocrypha of the English Protestant Bible. Is the, what's the name of the Bible? Well, it's the same, I forget. La Vulgata de San Jerónimo in Spanish. Well, Tobias is shown with his protective angel Raphael on the journey to distant Media, where he had been sent by his father Tobit to collect, his father is blind, to collect a deer. Tobias carries the fish he has caught from the river, very famous river Tigris, while Raphael holds a box containing the ointment made from the fish entrails and used to cure Tobit's blindness. Painting of this subject were quite common in Florence at this time. There are other well-known, almost contemporary, and example by Verrocchio workshop that is in the London, Filippo Lippi in the paint of Tobias and the angel Raphael in Washington DC, and Francesco Botticini in the another one paint in the Uffizi. They were probably votive image commissioned by those seeking protection on a journey or a cure for blindness. The last Pollaiuolo pictures is from the Guild Church of Saint Michel, where Vasari saw it after 15 years that the painter died, hanging on a pillar. It was later transferred to the assembly room of the Capitani above the church. Vasari ascribed into Piero, but is usually considered a work of collaboration between the brothers. And one of them was more painting and the other more sculpture, but at the same time, they help the other to finish And then they paint well, both of them paint well, and both of them are engraved, and both of them are painted sculpture. Well, it's difficult. And another brother worked with them, Sylvester in English. In Italian is Sylvester, more or less, with A. Well, between the brother and date around the middle or late 1416. By the 18th century, it was in the possession of the Ptolemy family in their house in Via del Ginori, Florence, and later their palazzo in Siena. It was acquired by the Galleria Sabadauda in 1865 from the collection of Baron Garriot. The brother Antonio and Piero del Pollaiuolo, the Pollaiuolo is not the surname, ran one of the most progressive and diversified workshop in Florence in the second half of the 15th century. The family name was Bensi. Bensi is the surname, not Pollaiuolo. Pollaiuolo means poultry seller. Their father was a seller, which was their father's business. Antonio, the eldest son, was probably born in 1431. According to Vasari, he was articled to a goldsmith's named Bartoluccio Gilberti, and then worked as Lorenzo Gilberti's assistant on the second very famous baptistery doors, the incredible gates of the paradise. By the late 1415s, he was already receiving major commissions as a goldsmith, and by 1464 he was running his own workshop in Via Baccherecchia near the Mercato Nuovo. Piero, the youngest son, was born in about 1441, and he said but Vasari to have learned painting in the workshop of Andrea del Castagno. He received commission as an independent master, but also assisted collaborate with Antonio. Very little is known of a third brother, I speak to you about Sylvester in English, who also worked in the family together workshop, as well as goldsmith work. The workshop produced bronze sculpture, painting in fresco and panel, processional banner designed for embroidery and engraving, and, documents and contemporary literature describe Piero as a painter and Antonio as a goldsmith, sculpture in bronze. It was Vasari, some 50 years after the brother's death, who first stressed Antonio's activity as a painter. There are several authenticated pictures by Piero. 3 of a series of 7 virtues in the Uffizi are documented as a painting in 1469-70. A portrait of Galeazzo Maria Sforza in the Uffizi is recorded as a Piero in a Medici inventory of 1492, and the altarpiece and San Gimignano is signed as a date of 1483, but there are no documented or signed picture by Antonio. It's difficult to distinguish their separate style, since Bernard Berenson, Florentine painter, Florentine painting, 1896, it has been usual to assign the best work to Antonio. One recent monograph, however, attributes almost all the Pollaiuolo painting to Piero. The writer is Aldo Galli, Pollaiuolo, 2019. Vasari said Antonio was one of the first artists to study anatomy through dissection and work such as the painting and the bronze of Hercules and Antaeus Antaeus, and the famous saint engraving of the Battle of the Nude Men show a fascination with the problem of representing the naked human figure in a violent action. The Pollaiuoli, the brother, were almost the first Italian painter to use a primarily oil medium rather than extempore. Unlike Flemish painter who build up paint layers slowly in thin translucent glazes, they apply the oil medium thickly with unusual boldness and freedom. Both Antonio and Piero left Florence for Rome at the end of their reach in about 1484 to execute the bronze stone of 624 for St. Peter's. Well, this stone is their masterpiece. On his completion in 1493, they start work on a second papal tomb for Innocent VIII. Both brothers died in Rome. Piero shortly after 1496, Antonio on 4 February 1498. They were buried there in the church of San Pietro in Vincoli, where there is a small monument to them just inside the door. Well, that's all. Thanks for all for paying attention. See you soon. Until tomorrow. Bye.